Hey collective, it's Intuitive Pisces Moon and welcome to my channel. If you found this video today, this is going to be one of two in a series, Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. You have found the Divine Masculine reading. So if this sounds good to you, we're going to look into what needs to grow and what needs to go in the life of Divine Masculine today. So you will catch the Divine Feminine reading drop around the same time as this one. So if you haven't seen that one, go check it out. But we're just going to tap into what's going on in that situation. All right. So I ask for wisdom, guidance, protection, and love for myself, for all, for the collective. Thank you so much. And let's jump right in. Thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate your time and energy exchange. And the sage is burning strong as well, so that is a good thing because we had to cleanse after the feminine reading. So that's also telling me that we're cleansing in the life of the masculine. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make two piles. We're going to, on the left, do what needs to go, on the right, what needs to grow, and then in the middle, we'll get advice from Spirit. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through this. Okay, so Divine Masculine, we have all the cards laid out. Again, this is what needs to go, what needs to grow, and advice from Spirit. So let's take a look at what we have here. So for what needs to go, we have Mirror Guardian. Take time to reflect. So what I am getting is that you have actually done this. So when it's in the what needs to go pile, it feels like you've done enough reflecting. And the fact that this grow card is a move card, it's telling me that the time to reflect has passed and now it is time to take action. It is time to move forward. So let's get into this deeper and find out more, but it feels like you have been reflecting on a lot of things within your life, okay? Maybe it is things that you are looking to have exit is the best way to put it, right? What needs to go? Who needs to go? Is it a job? Is it a relationship? Is it friendships? Is it habits that you have? Is it ways of thinking that you have? So it feels that you've done a lot of reflecting. And now it is time to move out of that space, okay? It almost feels like hermit mode, like you've spent all this time in seclusion, maybe away from others because you were trying to figure out who needs to go in your life or what. And now Spirit's calling you to take the next step, okay? So let's see what else we have here. We have the Raven. So your affirmation for this card is, I see the path forward. And that is exactly what she's looking at here in this mirror, right? I now can see this path forward. You've done enough reflecting and now you're actually looking at where to go next. Your daily journal prompt for this is, what are a few quick ways that you can incorporate your spiritual practice in your daily life? So that might be something that you're contemplating, okay? When you're doing that reflecting, you're trying to figure out, how can I do this now in my daily life? Okay, so some of you may have found some newfound practice that you're working with, but you're not sure yet how to incorporate it into your daily life. And it feels very much like there's a lot of uncertainty at this moment with Divine Masculine because you have cut out certain things. Now you're, very much like the feminine reading, in this void space of uncertainty. What do I do now? Okay, so let's move over to this what needs to grow pile. we have the elder. Move beyond ancestral patterns. Okay, so this very much feels like some of the stuff that you were reflecting on, right? You were looking at your patterns, and you were looking at specifically your ancestral patterns. Like, for instance, if you masculines had a father figure that was a toxic masculine energy, and again, I'm not saying that everybody was in this situation, this is an example, and you started to notice those patterns of toxic masculine energy, and you started to catch yourself doing some of those things, and you were questioning why you were doing the things that you were doing. Maybe you didn't understand why you were doing them, or that they came from this ancestral line. So this is where growth occurs, okay? It's very much about catching yourself in doing something while it's happening, and then moving beyond it. So that's where your greatest growth is occurring right now, Divine Masculine, is first of all, you've reflected on these patterns and learned what it is about yourself that is part of the ancestral patterns, and you're willing to move beyond it. Beautiful energy here. Then we have Aquarius energy. So your affirmation, I am unique. Your journal prompt, what would I like to do in the next 5 years? What is holding me back? So Aquarius energy for Divine Masculine. Maybe you are being called to tap into that Aquarian energy, okay? So Aquarius is an air sign, and being unique, right? So when we want to tie it to these ancestral patterns, it's bringing me to that place of I don't want to be like everyone else who came before me. It's feeling like you want to be that unique spirit that broke the mold, right? These ancestral patterns end with me. And I'm not going to choose to perpetuate that cycle over and over again, okay? So if any of you masculines have children, maybe you've made the decision not to raise your children a particular way because you didn't like the way you were raised. Maybe it's advice from, family. Whatever advice you were given. I'm going to go back to one that just came to me that I had to deal with as a child, and that was learning how to swim. In the 80s, learning how to swim, no joke. Let's not put floaties on you, let's just throw you in the pool, figure it out. Doesn't life feel like that sometimes? Divine Masculine. You don't want to learn that way, and you don't want others to have to learn that way. We all learn things the hard way, but that doesn't mean that that's how we all should have to learn, right? We shouldn't have to be thrown into the pool and just figure it out. So there's many aspects of ourselves that we are relearning how to be, how to undo these ancestral patterns that we've been living with our entire lives. And it's interesting because, again, you're seeing this path forward, and you're now willing to move beyond. You might still be stuck in this holding pattern of uncertainty how to make that next step or how to make those changes with your spiritual practices in your daily life. But the fact that you are looking at it and willing to change something is a beautiful place to be. All right? So don't give up, masculines. You're doing an amazing job. Now, I picked this middle pile to be advice from Spirit. So we have the shaman. Trust in higher forces. Some of you at this time might be called to do shamanic work. What is shamanic work? It's very much an individual, and it doesn't have to be a masculine energy. It can be a feminine energy. Anyone can do shamanic work. Traditionally, it was masculines that did it, but I also know that in many cultures, feminines also did it, okay? These were considered the people that could cross lines, is the best way to put it, into different worlds and different realms. So if somebody came to them and they felt that they had like a demonic presence attached to them, the shaman would go in, locate that presence, and remove it for them. Okay, I've actually heard stories too where they're removing sickness from them and they actually hold it in their own bodies for however long it needs to process out. So they're transmuting energy and traveling in different realms. And a lot of times what they do is they hide as these animals. Okay, they're like shapeshifters. So they would put this mask on using their spirit guides, their animal guides, whatever they needed to do, and they're like shape-shifting as this other energy and then going into these other realms and doing things, right? Healing, removing, fixing, whatever it is that they are doing. It's beautiful work. And divine masculines, if you are called to do this work, go for it. Okay? If you are called to utilize a shaman for something, maybe you feel you've got something attached to you and you're trying to find a shaman, okay? Trust in these higher forces. Spirit is guiding you towards something at this time that needs your trust in it. All right, then we have this card. So your affirmation for this card, I am answering the call to explore. So this is Sagittarius energy. Your journal prompt for this is, what am I interested in and how can I learn about it in a unique way? How interesting that we have unique here, and unique is also over here with Aquarius. So with this shaman energy, this is also about exploring. It's about exploring other possibilities, other realms, okay? So it's not just about exploring whatever you can see in your 3D life. It goes beyond that. And that's what Spirit is asking you to do in this situation, Divine Masculine, is to explore. Explore beyond what you've known to be true your whole life. Explore beyond what realms you are familiar with, okay? Do some astral travel, the kind of things of that nature. So it's beautiful energy. We're going to jump into the tarot next. We will start over here with the what needs to go. Please, let's get some tarot to clarify this pile over here for the Divine Masculines. Thank you. The Two of Pentacles. Okay. So I'm seeing that there's a lot of juggling going on, Divine Masculines. It's like you can see your path forward and you are looking for these adjustments that need to be made to incorporate the spiritual practices in your daily life. You may not be so sure how to do it as of yet. There's like a lot of juggling going on. Okay, thank you. Justice. Okay, so let's get one more and we'll dive deeper into that. I'm seeing that things are being made fair in your life. So if there are things that have been unfair, it's being made right for you. That's a good thing. Okay, this one. The Seven of Wands. All right. So, a couple things I'm getting with this. One, you're handling things in a fair manner. So if you are interpreting something as being unfair, you're actually defending something that you perceive as unfair. But I'm also getting that you are creating defense against things that are unfair. So I hope that makes sense. You're standing up for yourself, you're standing up for others in injustices, but you're also doing it for yourself. Beautiful energy. It's tough with the juggling though. So it feels like, because you've got so much going on in your life right now, you're trying to figure out how to balance all of this. There's a lot to be balanced. You're defending yourself, you're defending others. You're trying to create justice in the world. You have like a sense of accountability for things. The message I'm getting with that is be careful with what you hold yourself accountable for, because not everything that you hold yourself accountable for is not your burden to carry. So with this juggling, be careful with that. Again, tying it back to this ancestral patterns. Maybe some of the justice that you're seeking might be for someone in your family per se, but it's not your burden to carry. Okay. Also, I'm getting to be careful with who you defend and the cause that you're defending it for. Like, do you know why you're defending some of the people in your life that you are defending? Is it for justice? And are you standing up for yourself in that same respect? All right. Let's jump over to what needs to grow, please. Let's expand on this. What needs to grow? Thank you. Okay, we got 3 cards that came out right away. We got the Sun, the 3 of Cups, and the Devil. So you need the Sun to grow. I definitely see that. But we have the Devil here showing up as a form of temptation away from something. And I'm getting it's with those ancestral patterns. Here's what I'm picking up because of Aquarius and the unique aspect. Aquarius, divine masculine, whoever it is that you identify as. You are unique. And Spirit wants you to recognize that within yourself. Okay? You show up as the sun in so many people's skies. And there are going to be people that are going to show up that are going to try to tempt you into something, to be more like everyone else. Be like me. What is that from? Be like me, be like me. I can't think of what it's from. But it's a message against conformity. You're not here to conform. You are here to stand out. You are the sun. This is very masculine energy. The 3 of Cups might be celebrations that tempt you out, right? Maybe you have friends, a friend group, could be family members, that are constantly inviting you to places for drinks. Lots of drinks. The dranky drink. And maybe it's hard for you to say no. So whatever these temptations are for you, divine masculine, I'm getting that it's part of these ancestral patterns, okay? That you're in the midst of breaking. So, it's okay to stand out. It's okay to be unique. And the question was, what would I like to do in the next 5 years, and what is holding me back? Here is your answer, divine masculines. What's holding you back? Temptation. Familiarity. Partying. Doesn't have to be hardcore partying like clubbing and, whatever. Could just be friend gatherings. Could be family gatherings. Maybe you always do this one thing with your friends, or you always do this one thing with your family, and you drink while you do it. There's something that you're in the midst of breaking here that is making you unique. You're standing out from the crowd. You're breaking these ancestral patterns. I'm not going to go any further into that. Bottom of the deck, we have the Magician. You have all the tools within you to do this, masculines. There's something that you are processing. You see the way forward. You know that you're unique and that there's something holding you back. You've got to figure out how to use and wield these tools that you've been given to break free from this. Okay? There's only 3 major arcana on the table aside from the Magician. And we have Justice and the Sun, beautiful cards, and then this Devil pops its head in here under these ancestral patterns. So know that you have a ton of guidance with you, okay? You might even lean on your ancestors yourself for guidance to help you get through whatever this is that you're trying to get through. All right, I am going to use the Archangel Michael deck to get some closing advice for the Divine Masculines here. Archangel Michael, what do we have to wrap this up for the Divine Masculines, please? Thank you. You are protected. You are safe within my bubble of light. You can proceed with confidence. Okay. So that's for any of you who have been, I'm not going to say afraid to move forward, because I don't feel fear here. What I feel is, if you have fear around anything, it's like the fear of conforming. You know you're unique, but there's something that you feel is holding you back, and you can't quite put your hand or finger on it. But it's here. It's in the shadow work, okay? It's in the shadows. That's where you're going to find what it is that needs to be looked at. All right, what else do we have? Thank you. Get your power back. You have forgotten who you are. Child of the divine, take your power back. I'm going to tell you this, masculines. Whatever's going on here in this space is stifling your power. It is dimming your shine. It is holding you back. Okay? So if you can get a handle on this situation, you will be free. And you will have moved beyond the ancestral patterns. And then you can actually take the steps to move forward. You see the path forward. You know what it is. It's right in front of you. But you've got to make that choice to take the steps and to go for it. All right, what else, please? Thank you. Your prayers are being answered. Your prayers are being received by the divine. Answers will come soon, although perhaps in forms you didn't expect. Okay, so I don't know what way you expected them to show for you, masculines, but they're going to show up in some potentially unexpected ways. And again, with the shamanic work, maybe you're going to tap into some new form of communication with your spirit guides, your ancestors, and that's how it's going to come to you, and it'll be some new form of communication. Okay, might also show up, and I said this in the feminine reading too, could show up in a song lyric. It could show up as clear audience, meaning, you know, your inner voice speaks to you. It could be an ancestor's voice in their voice speaking to you. It could be a billboard that has a message for you. It could be a stranger that's telling you something that you needed to hear. When you seek these answers, give a time frame. Say, I would like this answer to this question in the next 24 hours, in the next 48 hours, in the next week. And then pay attention. Pay attention to the signs. However it comes to you, your prayers are being answered. All right, let's get one more. make a decision. So this is that juggling. Are you choosing to prioritize yourself or another in this situation? Accept divine guidance pointing you towards your own joy. You deserve it. I'm going to say that again. You deserve it. The thing of that is you have to believe that for yourself. If you don't believe that you deserve it, then you're right. Okay? So some of you might be stuck in these karmic loops over here with the temptations and stuff like that, the ancestral patterns, because you don't feel that you can do better than that. But you absolutely can and are better than that. Bottom of the deck is be a light to others. You have a powerful message to share. Shine your light on the world so that others can learn from you. Is there a story that you need to tell about your life experience that's going to benefit someone else on their journey? The fact that you are this radiating light, and again, mirror. I'm also getting this with the mirror. You're also a mirror to others. So some people might see the worst in you because they have not identified yet the worst in themselves. They haven't fully faced themselves, and so they're projecting that onto you. So it's on to you to decipher for yourself what it is that you truly are. You are unique, and you see the path forward. You have to make the choice to go in that direction and do better. Move beyond these ancestral patterns and get out of this temptation. Even as the sun energy, you are this bright, magnanimous, light energy, and people see that. And some people don't want to see you succeed and do better than them, and that's all it is. So they try to keep you here in this stuck energy. So that's all I have for you today, Divine Masculines. I want to thank you so much for joining me in this reading today. I truly appreciate your time and energy exchange. I wish you all a lifetime of happiness, health, wealth, abundance, and so much love. Fill your own cup up with love before you fill someone else's. Go within so you never go without. And keep in mind that I'm a beacon of light here to help guide you through the darkness. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.